17.5. More of my opinions and my beliefs. Well, I'm going to start this one off with apologizing to all my sisters and brothers in Ireland and Scotland for that little tune I sung the other day on 17.4 and got it wrong because I switched the reverse the verses around. It's supposed to be you take the low road and I'll take the high road and I will be in Ireland before ye. And I switched it the other way around. I done got lost on the wrong path. Which happens sometimes. I do make a wrong turn sometimes. But I always find my way back to where it's supposed to be the true path. But, I am truly sorry, and I know you're all probably laughing at me just as hard as possible, and I don't blame you one bit because when I listen back over the recording, because I always listen to all the recordings I do, I don't change them. I leave the mistakes in there, and I let everybody see, I make mistakes too. Everybody makes mistakes, like I've told you before. That's just the way it is. It's just when you don't learn from your mistakes is when the problem is. But yeah, I just wanted to straighten that out. But Ireland was there first, and then and it was the Princess Scotta. She was a queen after she came over, but she really was when she came from Egypt. It was actually Princess Scotta, and I said Queen Scotta. But later she did. She married over here in Ireland, and yeah. So yeah, she was a queen because she married a king, obviously. But anyway, let's just move on. But yeah, I hope y'all got a good laugh out of that one. Oh boy. Okay. So anyway, let's move past that. Let's see. I was talking about welfare the other day. See, there's another thing too that you don't understand about this welfare program. They don't account all of your expenses. So, like, if you've got loans out that you're paying on, if you got a car payment that you're paying on, they don't count that car payment as being an expense when they're figuring out your budget to help you. They don't count your car insurance as being an expense when they're figuring out a budget to supposedly help you. If your car's broke down, they won't help you fix it. They don't figure out anything towards anything like that. They only figure out the bare necessities, like, if you're lucky, they'll pay your housing or part of it, if you're lucky. Usually if you got a family, not so much if you're a single person, but some might get lucky. Your heating bills, you can get help with that. Your food, you can get help with that. Your electric, you can get help with that. And like a lot of people, they only get like $15, $16 in food stamps and then if they're not making anything, if they don't have no income, then they probably get 200 for a single person, and then they only give you an extra $50 or 75 or $100 per kid, depending on what age they are, to go towards that. So they're not really spending as much money on the welfare program as what they're trying to say they are. And like I've said, the welfare program, you pay in that all your life. So everybody pays into that, so it's there when you need it. So they get paid 3 ways from Sunday because they take your stuff and they resell it or whatnot, and it's just they make money hand over fist. These people don't do anything but walk around and act like fancy pantsy big asses of wearing a pretend crown and steal, 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 and screw you around. That's all they are. That's all they are. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad that you gotta exist in a world that's just nothing but ran by corrupted criminals and people that only care about what they got and nobody else, and they wear jackets to say to a prison where they've got children in cages. And here our so-called First Lady of the United States, wears a jacket that says that she don't care. What are we becoming, people? I mean, come on. We're supposed to be the shining light that everybody else in the world looks up to. We're supposed to be the example of what an advanced civilization should be. And all we are is this a frickin' disgrace with corrupted criminals and running the show, and it's all a big joke, and it's got to stop. This cannot be this way anymore. We cannot exist this way anymore. You cannot exist this way anymore. I shouldn't say us, because I don't exist like that. This is the way you people are is just maddening. It's maddening. And it needs to stop. You need to wake up, and you need to take these criminals out of control, and you need to throw their asses in the cages, not children. What is wrong with you? Why are you allowing children to be put in cages? Why? Why? You need to stop it. This has to stop. We need to rise. We need to demand that our military take these criminals into custody and throw their asses in prison where they belong. Put them on a prison island like in my PAN plan. At least they'll be out of our society and out of our civilization and quit infecting it with their disease and their mental illnesses and their disgusting habits and behavior. Is just sickening. But, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Why? Why would you ever stand for anything like this? It's beyond my concept, and that's amazing. You don't know how amazing that is. But, wow. Yeah, the welfare program, if they don't account for you to have a vehicle or insurance on your income, how are you ever supposed to get a job if you can't pay for a vehicle? Because if you don't have that in your budget, then you don't have it. And then what are you going to do? You can't. Not everybody can get a job, a local job in town. Most people have to go out of town to get a job. Most public transportation is just in per town. So if you live in the town, you're only going to get around in that county of whatever towns in that county, because usually it don't go outside the county, or you got to arrange jumping one bus from the next bus to the next bus, and you got to pay usually $3, to go to one place, and then $3 to go to the next place, and then $3 to go to the next place. So if you got to take three buses, you got three transfers at $3 a piece. You got $9 just to go to work, and $9 come back from work. You got $18 a day, rounded off for $2. You might as well say. $2 more, rounded off at $20. So you're looking at, for a 5-day week, $100 just in bus fees, and a couple hours there and a couple hours back, jumping back and forth the bus. And if you miss a bus and you don't make it to work, then you get fired, and then you're back on welfare. So how do they ever expect for anybody to get off welfare if they don't account for all of your expenses? It's supposed to help you. It's not supposed to destroy you. They're not supposed to make you sell everything you've worked your whole entire life for just because you need some frickin' help that you paid in out of your frickin' check every frickin' week or every 3 months, or however they took it out, depending if you're a business owner or an employee or a 1099 or a W-40 or whatever, or however your system works in whatever country you're in. But how are you ever supposed to get ahead if they're constantly keeping you down? Because they don't allow for you to have a vehicle. How stupid is that? Well, we can't count that as an expense. We don't care if you got a vehicle. We don't. Well, you need to get off welfare. You need to find a job. Well, how you going to get a job if you ain't got a vehicle? How you going to get a vehicle if you can't pay for insurance? Because you don't allow for that. So it's stupid. Your everything that you got designed is ignorant to keep people suppressed, to keep people poor, to keep people begging, to keep people under your control, to force people to commit crimes to survive, and you're the criminals. Because nobody should have to live the way you've got this designed. There's no reason why this has to be designed this way. And I've told you this repeatedly. And my family has told you this repeatedly throughout history. Your 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 you lizards are all territorial and possessions. That's all you care about. What territory you can take over and kill people for, and what possessions you can steal from everybody. And that's all you are. And we're not. And the human race is not. We don't need you. We need to get rid of you. You are the problem. Man, this is this one big giant global freaking nightmare. It's a mess upon messes upon messes. But I can straighten it out. I can fix every bit of it. Me and my people can come in and we can just go right through everything and reorganize everything and straighten everything back out and make this into a feasible advanced civilization and not a criminal fuckfest that these monsters has got you on. You need to get rid of them. You need to take them out of power. You need to place them under arrest. They are the real terrorist. They are the only terrorist. Man, life would be so much better for everybody if you just listened to us. Because I'm telling you, my children, I will do great things for you. My councils will do great things for you. My warriors will do great things for you. My guardians will do great things for you. My advisors will do great things for you. My sisters and brothers are all here with me to do great things for you. Our whole purpose of being is to protect you, guide you, teach you, and free you from these monsters. And we will never leave you, no matter how many times they kill us. We will never leave you. We will always come back. We will always be there. But why can't we just get it over with and just fix these things now? Stop letting them destroy you repeatedly. This planet's almost had it. I mean, oh my God, they've just ate it away for hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years of mining and this and that and everything else. I mean, come on, people. I explained the styrofoam ball concept to you. You know, it's crazy. But I'm going to jump around on a few other things while we're at it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of times, you got these food drives and stuff that churches and other organizations will hold for you. And like I said, I travel with the homeless people. I travel with everybody because how do you get to know, what people go through if you're not walking the same paths they do, as I've told you before. So I try to walk the same paths as everybody does. You know, I you could be talking to me here. I know, listening to me here, I should actually say, or you could be talking to me on my Facebook and you don't know who I am really. But you also, in real life, may even be talking to me on the street corner or at a restaurant or in a store, or maybe you're putting in a job application and I'm giving you an interview and you don't know it's me because I'm everywhere. I'm everything. That's the way it is, you see. So I love all you. I love you to death, man. I don't care if you love me back. I've told you that many a times. I'm not asking you to love me. I'm not asking you to like me. I'm asking you to listen to what I'm trying to tell you because I'm telling you the truth. I won't tell you a bunch of lies like these assholes do. If I make a mistake, I will correct myself. If I don't catch it, I'm sorry. If it's brought up to me and I realize it's a mistake, I will correct myself and I will apologize because this is the way I was raised. To be a deep, uh, to be a decent serpentine, so a decent serpent, or decent person, however you want to put it, a decent being. And the problem is right now what you've got in control are not decent beings; they're monsters, and your world is out of control. And this is the way they want it. They want you to live a world of chaos. These taxes and all this stuff that they nailed you with. Originally, let's talk about this while we're on taxes. Originally, because I've told you before, my great, 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 great uncle, Alexander Hamilton, originally designed all the original government and everything. Like a lot of my family, we've always designed the laws and the governments and the financial stuff and everything, but it wasn't never done on a currency basis in our days. Everything was it used to be called the trading routes for a reason because it was trading and not currency. But that's why they made the S serpent sign and made the dollar sign. It's another thing to rub in our face because we didn't believe in the money kind of stuff. That's their idea. But anyway, I mean, it's crazy. It's all crazy. You guys, you got to be able to understand what's going on in the world and what's happening. And what's going on is not right. You need to change it. So, I don't know what else to tell you other than that, you gotta rise up and you gotta get a backbone. You gotta be all that you can be. They lie to you, and they lie to you, and they lie to you, and they lie, murder, 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 steal, 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 rape, 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 molest, 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 molest. That's all they are. All they are. And now they want to legalize pedophilia and all that. That's disgusting. That should tell you alone what they are. Come on. Why would anybody with any decency want to lower the charges on children being raped, on women being raped, on young girls and boys being molested? Why? This alone should tell you what these people are. Not if putting children in cages ain't a clue, which, hey, guess what? They got children in cages. They got pedophile farms, and they're lowering the charges so they can fuck them and get away with it. They're going to be skull fucking your kids, and there ain't nothing you're going to be able to do about it because it'll be legal. Just like in the old days when they used to come into the villages and take your daughters and your wives and fuck the hell out of them because they had that right. They had the right to come in on your wedding night, as I told you before. They had the right to do whatever the fuck they want because that's what they always do is do whatever the fuck they want and you pay for it. You pay to let them fuck you every way and everything, every way they got. Yep, that's what you do. You better get a clue. Churches are getting armed and they're putting, having armed guards and escorts and the church reverends and stuff and the priests are getting armed guards and stuff. It's going to be armies next. It's like in the old days when St. Patrick came in Ireland and fucking slaughtered all my people and stuff, and we barely made it out in our ships. Or wherever else they happen to chase us out of, because we've been everywhere. They just keep following, America. They came here and slaughtered some more of us. And it's pathetic. Like I told you, the first two American flags in 1775, General Gaddis, it's on their Wikipedia, designed a yellow flag with the rattlesnake on it, coiled up. Said, "Don't tread on me." Or "Don't tread on us." One of the two, I don't remember. Anyway, second one was made by Benjamin Franklin. It was also a serpent, and it was all chopped up in different pieces. That was the earlier version of United to Stand, we divided, we fall. Except for it was all chopped up snakes saying join or die, but it was a more rougher version. It was a more serpent kind of attitude because some of my brethren can can get a little carried away at times. This is why I'm the king. The High King. The High King and the High Priest. You could call me Absalom. Crystals. I want to talk about crystals for a minute. I was telling you about crystals before, but I left off there, so I'm going to pick back up for a minute. You know how you got these fancy big hotels and stuff around the world, and they see these apparitions of people walking through the dining rooms and whatnot. It's like spirit or a ghost, if you will, they call them. Which is actually different than a spirit, but we'll go with it. So they got these ghosts, and you can see them every so often, come through the dining room, and they take the same path every time they go through, and people take this as being apparitions that are appearing, and they just don't, they're walking the same path as they've always walked when they were alive. But this is not really what's going on. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's not spirits and apparitions, because there is. But what's really going on in these situations is people don't realize that underground, underneath of that establishment, that this is happening there. There's usually caverns that have certain types of crystals, because all different types of crystals will do different things, as I've told you before. So they've got these certain types of crystals that are underneath this establishment in the cavern. And what happens is, because there's always seismic activity happening on the planet everywhere, more, some or less here and there, but there's always some kind of vibration with the planet, because things are always moving. And these crystals under there, what happens is these people are walking through as this seismic activity begins. And as they're walking through and these crystals start to vibrate, they create a recording of these people walking through this room. And now that recording is embedded in this crystal, much like the crystals on your phone holds informations and stuff now, and your TVs and whatnot. So this recording of this person walking through the room is actually on this crystal. Okay. And it's going to be there forever, because it's been like a record. It's been engraved into the crystal. Okay. And what happens is later down the line, hundreds of years or whatever, 20, 50 years, whatever, later, after these people are dead and gone, and then people are all, new people are there, and they're all there, and they're in this dining room, and all of a sudden everybody sees this apparition walking through the dining room, or walking through their bedroom, or walking through somewhere else. And they're like, oh my God, this is a ghost or a spirit or whatever you want to call it. But what it really is those crystals underneath that had recorded this previously is vibrating again. Except for this time, it's not recording, because it's already recorded the image on there. This time, it's replaying the image back when it vibrates. So every time those crystals have seismic activity, and it creates a vibration in the crystals, it replays that person walking that path that was recorded before in the past. But everybody around sees this as spirits or ghosts or apparitions or whatever you desire to call them. As I've told you, we've known about crystals forever, and if you look in all the books of magic and stuff, you will see that in the magic books and alchemy and whatever, it don't matter. There's crystals everywhere. Everywhere through history where people use crystals, and they call it magic or alchemy. You take alchemy, okay? Alchemy, let's take alchemy. ALCHEMY. Okay, let's remove the A and L up and move the Y up. And in the center we have chem. CHEM, which is the abbreviation of chemistry. You got AL and Y at the top, which could be alloys, like in metal. So really what you're looking at when you're looking at alchemy, you're looking at a hybrid of metallurgy and chemistry with a few tweaks mixed together. And then you got an alchemist, like your Isaac Newton was an alchemist. Benjamin Franklin was an alchemist. A lot of the people in your history were things that they don't tell you they actually were. Like I told you about Christopher Columbus being opium smuggler, not smuggler, not a smuggler. Well, he's basically an opium dealer, but he was oh, he transported the stuff all over the place on these boats and stuff. So he delivered the opium and sold it. So he was a drug dealer, no matter how you look at it. And you got, Columbus Day. Columbus Day is celebrating opium, the opium dealer. They got lost and supposedly found America. But they'll tell you that he found America, and then they'll tell you that Eric the Viking found it before him, and then if you really want to dig deeper, you can find out that the Irish were here hundreds and hundreds of years, even over 1,000 years for some of these guys, way before they ever got here. So, and if you want to get right down to the nitty gritty, I mean, everything used to be a giant supercontinent to begin with before all the land masses had broken up and got rearranged and whatnot over time. But um, to let you all know, the basic simple fact is all life started in Africa. Egypt might be the cradle of civilization, but Egypt is also used to be part of Africa and still basically is. But all life started in Africa, and then the land masses got broke up or whatnot. Some things were already still on the land masses as they broke up, and then as like I said, when the ice age come, you also took the ice bridge across there and traveled that way from land to land. And also, there's tunnel systems that run all through the planet too that I forgot to tell you about when I was talking to you about the underground lava tubes that run all over the place, and all the mines and everything they've been digging out for millions of years to take out gold or whatever, or silver or whatever they were digging for. It's been going on forever, so there's not a lot left in there. But there's also big underground tunnel systems that go underneath of your oceans and your seas, and they go to different land masses. So like you could actually take a tunnel from Easter Island all the way underneath of the ocean and go to Ireland or Scotland or some other place like that. And there's other places all over the world that's connected like that. So there's a lot of things that they don't tell you. And there's also underground systems that go from state to state that don't go underwater. They just go underground and people travel under them. There's a lot of things that, you don't know that you should know that they don't tell you. And it's all done by design. But earlier I got on the subject and I kind of got lost, so I just went to something else. I do that sometimes. Brain damage kicks in every once in a while, and I have a brain freeze on something and I get redirected. So I'm sorry about that, people. And, you just gotta stick with me. But I do got a lot to teach you. But like I said, not a lot of people can function at this level after being killed a few times and coming back and killed and coming back. That's this in this body. This vessel, boy, I tell you, this is one of the best vessels I ever had. And the other guy, he's in here too. Don't get me wrong, he didn't go nowhere. We share this thing. He's a pretty good guy. He's a knowledgeable dude too. So sometimes we'll take turns on here, but we'll even repeat each other once in a while. Like one of the recordings, maybe I told you one thing, then he got on there and told you another, and it was the same thing, and some other stuff, and it was just crazy. I know it's hard for you to follow, but just get with me. I mean, I don't have a split personality or nothing. Don't think that. It's hard to explain to you because most people can't wrap their mind around the concept. But like I said, when I came back to life, the first time I got killed in that car accident, and then I got brought back by another accident within a matter of hours. And I was in a coma for a while. And yeah, I didn't come back alone. But it's probably the only reason why I did come back. But yeah, I didn't come back alone. Well, I should say he didn't come back alone. I don't know, we get confused sometimes. It's just hard when you're sharing the same vessel. But like I was saying, this is one hell of a vessel, boy. I tell you, this guy, he's just crazy as crazy could be. I couldn't ask for a better vessel. His dad, the way he made him, boy, oh boy. This guy is just like, I'm lost for words because it's just, I can't explain the stuff that this being can endure and keep going. Here, get in there. Cerberus, get down there and lay down there, buddy. Yeah. My babies. I love him. You probably heard him whimpering and whining a couple of times. He gets mad when I'm on here too long talking and not paying too much attention to him. He's been with me forever. My baby Cerberus. Yeah. Yeah. I'm wandering around and just picking subjects, so stick with me. These people, I don't want to talk about them no more. They're just making me so upset. I love all you people. I want you to have a good life. I want you never have to worry about nothing. There's no reason why you should ever have to worry about nothing. There's no reason why we should have war. There's no reason why we gotta kill each other. I mean, why? Why do we gotta do that? I mean, it's senseless. You just come back anyway. You've been killing each other over and over and over again throughout time, man. You're all the same people. You just don't understand, and that's because they don't teach you this shit. You're all the same people. You're all from the same place. You gotta stop finding every little reason that you can to hate each other. I mean, it's ignorance. And I'm sorry to say it, but it's ignorance is all it is. It's nothing else. I mean, you're not being what you should be. You're not a shining example. You're a frickin' disgrace. You know? And I'm tired of it. Damn it. Something's got to be done. You know, we got to change our ways, or you're all gonna be done. You're killing yourselves. You're killing yourselves. Look at what you're doing to your children. Go to a children's cancer hospital and walk through that thing and look what you are doing to my babies. It's gotta stop. Murdering my children all over the world. You gotta stop. It cannot happen anymore. It's gotta stop. It's madness. It's insanity. It's disgusting. It's gotta stop. And anybody that supports this needs to be put on that prison island with them. We have got to draw the line, and we have got to draw the line now. There is no more time. You are at the point to where if you don't get off your frickin' ass and stand up and take control of this frickin' madness that's going on and stop it, you all might as well just take and buy all these guns you want and put a bullet in your own frickin' head. Because that's where you're ending up going anyway. You just gotta take a bunch of other people out with you. You're killing all my animals. I love my animals. I love my people. I love my planet. We did not create this for you ignorant asses to come in and destroy it. I want all my people to rise. It's time, my sisters and my brothers. It's time to go town to town, village to village, city to city, and spread our word and spread our seed and spread our plans and spread our love and joy, our peace, our harmony, our word. It's time that we take control, and it's time that we grab these criminals and we put them in prison. And it's time to rise. It's time to become what you were always meant to be. And it's not this sick, twisted insanity. Can you see? It is to be free of the madness and disease of these monsters that you allow to rule you. Like I said, they may have made my birthday the king of fools, but you're all the fools, and your king is telling you it is time to rise and stop being their fools. Become what I want you to become. Become free. You know? It's gotta, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yup. It's time. And I hope you all can understand, and I hope you all can see that this is the way that everything has got to be. It's time to get up, and it's time to reach out. It's time together, all about. Grab up your brothers and grab up your sisters, grab up your children and grab up your whatever you gotta do, and let's get this baby on a roll. Let's get this baby and go. Let's start here, and then later we'll grow across the globe. My Scottish roots, by the way, would be the Hamilton side of the family. Just to let you know. Yes. And there's a lot of other ones there too. Which we've got many names. But I thought I'd share that with you. All the same. Yep. You know, there's a lot of things that we could do together. A lot of things I could teach you, as I've told you before. A lot of things my sisters and brothers can teach you, as I've told you before. But before anybody can teach you anything, you actually gotta have to want to learn. And before anybody can set you free, you gotta actually want to be free. To be set free. And in order to be set free, you have to come to the understanding that you are not free now. That you are paid slaves. I mean, think about it, people. Come on, you get minimum wage money. Paid hardly next to nothing. And then out of that, they take your, they take income tax and federal tax and sales tax and this tax and that tax. And like I was saying earlier, my family designed almost all the governments. And originally, when Alexander Hamilton designed this government, and the revolution was happening, taxes were only supposed to be to help pay for the revolution. And then once the war stopped, the taxes were supposed to stop. So do you think that might have something to do with the fact that out of the 227 years coming up that America has been so-called America, according to your history books, that out of 227 years coming up, we've been at war over 200 of those years. So they could keep the taxes coming in? Killing people for money again. That's all they do. That's all they are. That's all they'll ever be. You're slave masters. Can you see? That's what they are. You're slave masters. And you're the poor little slaves. You're the crayon box of slaves, the rainbow slaves of the global monsters that are all the same. Can't you see? Life is a joke. Your life is a joke. This government system that they've got designed is a joke. And the fact that you let it happen is a joke. The only thing that's not a joke is all the poor innocent people that's paying for their stupidity and your cowardice. They're cowards too because, they can start a war, but as I've said before, none of their family goes to war. They all go hide behind closed doors. Oh, they got big mouths and they can run their mouths, boy, and they can make threats, but they point their finger and send you to go die. Why are you dying for their mouth? Why are you sending your children to die for their ignorance and their mouth and their greed? And you're proud of that? You're a proud American because you sent your child to die for some fat ass corrupted rich fuck that don't give a fuck about you and it's all about money. Yep, you're a good parent. Jesus. Brainwash people? I don't know, man. You're terrible. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the dumbest fuckers of them all? You are. I know you hate me by now. I want you to. You gotta hate something, because then maybe you'll get riled up. And then maybe you'll take some of that hate and give it to where it really belongs. You know? You gotta rise, people. I mean, come on. You gotta get angry. You gotta get mad. You gotta see this is enough. It's enough. It's enough. You can't take this shit no more. Is this the legacy you're gonna leave? Your descendants and everything that'll ever be? A toxic wasteland is the only thing they're ever gonna see. If you don't rise up and join me and be free. Later down the line, I told you about Christopher Columbus and his opium deals. But later down the line, even further yet, it still went on for years and years. And when we were having the Boston Tea Party over here and throwing all the tea into the sea, in China, the emperor got sick of his people being poisoned by this opium disease, and they were throwing opium into their seas. It wasn't a good time for the English trading companies, that's for sure. They lost a lot of money off of both shores. Well, speaking about ships, I want to bring up the Titanic. Yeah, what is it? The Titanic? Yeah, the Titanic, the unsinkable ship. One of the cousins was the captain of that ship. He was a smith. Smiths are involved in everything. We're everywhere. No matter what name we have, we're still Smiths. Yeah, the unsinkable ship, the Titanic, got hit by an iceberg and caused quite the panic as they sunk into the sea, lost. But check this out. You know, on the Titanic, besides all them passengers that they had quite a bit of wealth in their haul that they had. You know, they had tons of gold because they had a gold shipment that they were transporting. And they had priceless art and jewelry in their vaults. And all the passengers were richy, fancy, pancy people with riches and jewelry and whatnot. And the unsinkable ship sunk by an iceberg. Supposedly, maybe, but not. Because later reports have said that it was actually a German U-boat instead that sunk the Titanic and blew out the hull. As the water flooded in, she sunk all down in. But maybe it was all a trick, you see, a design to make some rich people richer, maybe. Because 100 years before this ever happened, a guy went in to a publishing company and he wanted to publish his book. His book was about a ship that hit an iceberg 100 years before the Titanic ever happened. And he wanted to publish this book. And the book was called The Titan. And if you take the IC off the end of Titanic, it spells Titan. Can you see? So either this guy had a vision of a future event and wrote a book that the Titanic was going to sink, but when he seen it in his vision, all he seen was Titan because the other two letters was under the water already. Or maybe they used this guy's idea to create the scenario to begin with and just added the IC on the end for Titanic instead of Titan, because even though this guy had wrote this book 100 years before, the publisher never published it because they laughed him out and said it was so unbelievable that a ship could run into an iceberg and sink that they wouldn't even publish the story. But yet 100 years later, this is supposedly what happened. But what if there's another scenario that could be? Because, we're all the same, you see. The Germans and Americans, the British, the whatever government or country you want to call them, all the leaders are related, as I've told you before. We're all family. Okay? So what if they decided to rob their own boat and their own ship and have all these jewels and all this gold and all this paintings and fancy art and whatnot, and all these rich people's jewels and money or whatever they had, and they just take it all and just put it in the bags, and they put it on their U-boat that they already had, because even if the Germans weren't involved, don't tell me Americans never seized any German boats in all that war, you see. So either way you look at it, this is the way it could be. But let's say they stole all this stuff and then they sunk the boat themselves, leaving a few choice people as survivors to back up the story of what happened. How much do you think the insurance would be on an unsinkable boat that size, you see? Some rich guy could have really raked in the bucks if he just would made it look like it was a sunken duck. There's Smiths everywhere. Everywhere. Boston, Massachusetts. The founding fathers and Masons and them used to have their meetings in this tavern. So basically it was a house that they used for a tavern, I should say. It was called the Green Dragon, and it was ran by a Smith too. Get it? Smith, dragon, serpent. Titanic, Titan, gods. Oh my. Well, I guess it's coming up to being an hour, so I guess that's enough of my madness for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. I was bored, so I thought I'd just make a recording. It wasn't about nothing special, but that's like I said, for all my brothers and sisters and my family in Ireland and Scotland. I bet you got a good laugh out of me messing up that verse, boy. But and it's right now because I corrected it. But I deserve that one. I love you all, and blessed be. Someday you will be free.